My name is Dr. Waddell Brooks, Sr., your host, and this is Community Forum. This evening we have a fantastic guest. She is someone that Lake County should know. We have Mrs. Shantal Taylor. She's the president of the Illinois Beach Sunrise Rotary Club in Zion, Illinois. She's a former Zion City Commissioner, and she's a candidate for Mayor, City of Zion. Greetings, Mrs. Taylor.
Thank you, thank you.
We're very happy that you've taken time from your busy schedule to be with us on the Community Forum. I know that my ratings will be going up. Today, we're going to be talking about a topic focusing on hope.
I like that, yes.
And you want to tell us about focusing on hope.
Yes.
This is your favorite, the work that you're doing in Zion, Illinois, so tell us a little bit about it.
Thank you, thank you. Well, when we focus on hope, we focus on helping everyone have the best quality of life possible to be had in a city, in a neighborhood, even inside of a school. One of the things that I really appreciate about you, Dr. Brooks, is you help hone in on great people doing great things in the community. And focusing on hope just continues to shine the light on the good that happens in a community, in a city, and it kind of takes away from, you know, the negatives by talking about the positives. When I think about hope, I think about the fifth graders in Zion, Beach Park in Winthrop Harbor, now that write about kindness every year. You know, we have a big contest. My Rotary Club sponsors that, and that's all about hope, letting those young children grow up and understand what hope is all about. And we're also hoping that we can help eighth graders in our county, in our city, have the opportunity to write about justice, because justice it ties into right choices, right moves. And so hopefully eighth graders throughout Zion, Beach Park, Winthrop Harbor, and beyond, like the fifth graders write about kindness, hopefully they'll have an opportunity to write about justice, because when we focus on a community of hope, it starts with kindness and justice.
Mrs. Taylor, I was reading in the Friday edition of the Lake County News Sun, July the 25th, and there was an article in there with you and I believe it was the police chief. Yes. Zion and I'm going to show it on the screen there. Stop the Violence Walk, Violence in Zion. You want to tell us about that information that was promulgated to Lake County?
Yes. Well, what we always want to do is focus on the positive and not the negative again. And what we wanted to do is galvanize individuals in the city to just be aware of the topic of violence and to stand up against any form of violence, domestic violence, gang violence, bullying, all the different things that causes someone else to be a victim. Time out for victims. It's time for a community of hope that begins with a community free of violence. And when we had that walk, it was very successful. We had the opportunity to see a great cast come forth from Chicago, that a lot of the issues that they portrayed on the movie, on the drama production they did called The Awakening. It used to be a Christian drama that will come on TV actually way back in the 90s, but it would talk about those very topics of making those right choices and, you know, doing the best to get the message out there, not choosing violence and steering clear of violence. And so it was so great that they came to walk with us and to just let this Zion region know that we do say no to violence. And the police chief, Chief Dumian, he's doing all he can in regards to his main goals are gangs, drugs, and guns. Getting those things to be obsolete would be is a great goal. and I really appreciate him supporting that walk event, and we're having others. We have another walk coming up. We did the walk against violence, but we also have a walk concerning community character that will be coming up in September, on September 11th. So
I noticed you had Clifford E. Turner and his wife,
yes,
Darlin, I guess, was
yes, they
took
are
time to come out here.
Oh, it was tremendous, because Apostle Clifford E. Turner is actually the founder of Hollywood Studios that produced the Project Awakening. That was a series, a drama series that was out in the 90s, and it was, again, dealing a lot with teenage issues, abortion, alcohol, drugs, and again, violence. And it, you know, showed, it always would have the spin of turning it back around to not only accepting the Lord and hopefully, you know, turning one's life around, but making positive choices.
Just a little bit about Zion, a little history about Zion, because it was started out as the holy city, I believe, you know.
Oh, yes, years ago.
But what has happened to Zion? You know, why is there so much violence in Zion?
Unfortunately, it's like 1-2% of the people making the whole city look, affected by it. But Zion has a lot of transitional individuals that will move into the city and that won't have any community planting, community connections. And so it causes a lot of disconnect right there. And so what once was a city that every family knew one another and everyone was able to look out for one another, it has now turned into a huge melting pot of needing new direction. And that is why I'm so happy that we did experience that walk against violence, and we have the upcoming, community character walk. But what is happening in Zion is fresh direction, I would say. Fresh direction being galvanized by grassroots individuals that want to see hope come alive for the children and for the families. We have, a high number of a lot of situations going on in Zion, surrounding poverty, surrounding basically everything that happens when a person is disenfranchised or disconnected from, from what should be a great solid foundation of information.
You mentioned about businesses there. Is there growth in businesses there in Zion?
We would love to see more growth in businesses along with economic prosperity. We need, people to feel safe and want to live and want to move to Zion. We're really in the process of having that remade all over again, to be honest, Dr. Brooks, because I think right now everyone is feeling like an island, and we're trying to do our best to, I know one of the things that I would like to do is to really help the businesses, the neighborhoods, and individuals all really be connected. And I want people in Zion to really understand that we need you to support the local stores. We need you to support the local businesses. And if it's something that the local businesses should do better, have a kind voice and share with them what they can do better. One of the things I really look forward to doing is really being an excellent conduit, bringing forth a communication where everyone can not only understand one another, but be able to accept and celebrate the good in one another.
This is fantastic. So this event that you mentioned is not a one-day event then,
No,
right?
not at all. That was just like the kickoff to community coming together. We have a whole project plan around. Right now is this huge thing that the Coalition for Healthy Communities is doing, where right now we are focusing on asking individuals in Zion, what would you like to be known as? A city full of respect, integrity, responsibility, just a community of, what is a community of character? So it's so fun that on September 11th, a bunch of different local civic organizations and individuals are going to come together, and we're going to walk, and we're going to talk about it, and those solutions will be found. I know I'm excited as president of the Illinois Beach Sunrise Rotary Club. We'll have a tent out, where this big event will be occurring, and we'll share with everyone the things that we do. From this year, we'll be issuing coats to children in the elementary schools, called a project we're doing called Operation Warm Coats, all the way to, again, having our essay contest for children in the school, and then a big banquet for their families. It's all about hope and community connection and people being able to see that we're in it together.
Now, citizens in Zion look forward to the growth in the city. If you're going to attract businesses to come in, if you're going to attract other people to change their relocate in Zion, they're looking at the park district, and they're looking at the school district, and also commissioners that have, the mayor and the commissioners have a vision.
Right.
Do you see that mayor and the commissioners have a vision? And if I were to interview, prospective people to run for offices in Zion, I'll say, what is your vision for the next 5 years, and that's 10 years, maybe 20 years,
Right.
Should have a long-range vision.
It should be a short plan, a long-range plan. It should be all of that in between. I agree 100%. Right now, the city of Zion is in the process of doing a comprehensive plan where the opinions of the citizens are being taken into consideration, so that we can make Zion the best that it can be, because right now it is in the process of reformation, as the comprehensive study and comprehensive plan begins over the next few years. But when you speak about leadership, and when you speak about the people in office right now, or even those that would pursue office, one of the things that I've been able to do, Dr. Brooks, after I lost the election April 2013 for city commissioner, I started a show called Shining Stars.
Oh, so you're not new to the
not at all.
the field.
I learned from you. I learned from the best here. But what it is, Dr. Brooks, when you talked about how you would interview an individual and ask them what their long range or short range goals are for a city, Shining Stars is a program that will help people know and hear the heart of a person behind that community service. Because a lot of times people don't know who people are in office, and that's a sad state of affairs. But when you can see them doing great things in the community, and when you can have an opportunity to hear an interview that they may do, then you'll know, and that also helps alleviate apathy, because right now I think Lake County kind of leads, the pack, unfortunately, in, voter turnout. We need to get much, much more higher turnout, but it just seems people aren't interested in voting anymore. And I think a lot of it is because of apathy.
Yeah, why is there so much apathy?
I believe that, again, when you're not associated, or when the connection is not there, people just tend to shy away from thinking that their vote matters. And so that show that I created, Shining Stars, it would help individuals know the importance of the heart behind the community service. Perfect example. I'm so excited about tomorrow we're having a job fair in Zion. Lots of individuals need jobs, and I'm so thankful for Senator Melinda Bush for organizing a job fair for the Zion area. And it's the Zion region, actually, beyond Zion, and it's just going to be a great time. But I'm glad that she took the time to choose our city for that, and it's going to be nice to just see all the people again have an opportunity at Hope, an opportunity for a new job.
So Melinda Bush, when she was campaigning, she's not only talk the talk, but she's walking the walk.
She's walking the walk, exactly. And Shining Stars will be there tomorrow, and we'll have an opportunity to hear her heart, the heart behind community service.
Now, how do the citizens get involved with Shining Stars?
You can go to YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. It's called Shining Stars Program, and they would just go there, shiningstarsprogram.com or Shantal Shining Stars, and you'll see a lot of different interviews that I've done with different people that have helped make a difference in the community.
I'd like to congratulate you on your getting involved in different service organizations. You mentioned the Zion Rotary Club. Well,
Yes.
the title Illinois Beach
Sunrise Rotary Club. Yes.
Rotary Club. Okay,
Yes.
the name, but the Rotary. You have an exchange club that just
Yes.
got organized.
I serve on the board of directors for the Exchange Club in Zion.
You have a Lions Club, you got the American Legion, you got VFW. You know, you have all these other service organizations, VFW and so forth. So these are challenges, I would think, that getting the word out so people would get involved.
Well, and that is something that I'm so excited about, September 11th, the Community of Character event, because that's going to be like a brand new coming together that has never really happened before in Zion, where the different civic organizations and individuals are going to come together and we're going to learn what we all do. And so it's going to be a nice time of connection.
So actually, a lot has been done to try to have dialogue and communications with the citizens.
Right.
But getting them to, you think because of employment or maybe working 2 jobs or maybe no job and so forth, then people just lack that enthusiasm to get involved.
Right. They lack the enthusiasm to get involved, or a lot of times I think people just, you know, they're not sure who really cares about anything anymore, to be honest, Dr. Brooks. It seems like people, you know, if they're blessed to have a job, you know, they go, they take care of, you know, their family, you know, with their job. But when it comes to community events, so far I'm not sure they've seen the benefit in connecting, and hopefully, you know, real soon they'll begin to see that it's much benefit in connecting and staying connected, because that's how we make our communities better. I'm sure everyone has been seeing the different outbreaks of violence across, you know, this state and, you know, across this nation. And I believe that the only way that we will get to the bottom of it is for people coming outside of their comfort zone and getting to know their neighbors again and getting to connect with that civic organization.
Can we get a plug in for Kevin Strother? You know, he's involved in the media, and he seems to be taking a great interest in, you know, getting the word out to people in Zion.
Okay, yes.
Have you ever been on his program there?
Yes, I did have a internet radio program that I served for Kevin with GMAP, the Gospel Music Broadcast Network. The wonderful thing about that is not only is it good music, but it was good information that happens for the community through the radio. And, you know, even on there, I did have an opportunity to share the best of Lake County's community service, again, having different city leaders come and share their vision and what they're doing to help make our communities better. So I am thankful for GMAP.
What about the county board member that represents Zion? Is that person active in getting Zion you know, accepting the challenges that face them?
Well, I do believe it's a lot of work that everyone has to continue to get better at. And so I do look forward to the days in the days ahead, you know, helping, you know, promote and get information to where information, you know, will be received and, you know, can really help. But as far as that individual, Mr. Paxton, I believe he serves parts of Zion, as well as Miss Hewitt serves parts of the area as well, because Zion is kind of cut up in two different districts.
Okay.
And I receive both of their newsletters. So if a
Okay.
person were to, subscribe, they could get their newsletters to find out what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I'm able to stay in touch a little bit. Mm-hmm.
And Zion is very unique. I think your school district, you serve, well, the high school is Zion Benton
Yes.
High School. It serves
Yes.
different communities there.
The
Maybe
Zion,
Winthrop Harbor and
that's it.
Beach
Park.
Park
That's
and
it.
so on.
Yes, Zion Benton High School services the children, the families of Beach Park, Winthrop Harbor, and Zion. And then they each do have their own different separate elementary schools. Yes.
Okay, and their own mayor and so forth,
Beach Park has a mayor, yes, as well as Winthrop Harbor, yes.
Okay. But the high school is one high school.
One high
It's
school,
separate
one
now.
community, yes.
The police chief mentioned about there are 47 sworn officers. Is that enough officers there for their community, or are they under?
The city of Zion
Represented.
has approximately 25,000 citizens.
Okay.
And of course, it would be great to have an officer for every corner of the city, 24 hours a day. But what we have so far seems to be somewhat efficient, and we can always, work to better that, that number. But right now, it's not a complete shortage. It's not considered, really shorthanded. It's average.
He also mentioned the trio there: guns, gangs, and drugs.
Yes.
It seemed to be very prevalent there in
Very
Zion.
prevalent.
In a small town, is that?
Oh, it's scary, Dr. Brooks. It is very scary, and that is why we really need neighbors to come together like never before, to really not only know one another, but to really begin to look out for one another. Because once it seems like one neighborhood is targeted, things just kind of go downhill. But if we have an opportunity to have individuals stand up, not just for themselves, but, for their neighborhood, it would make a huge difference. Yes.
At one time, we read in the paper concerned there's some low-cost housing units there. There was but that seemed to be improved now. We don't hear about a lot of crime going on.
Well, it's funny that you would mention that, because the city of Zion does have approximately 785 low-income rental units, also known as Section 8.
Okay.
And I do actually look forward to continuing a positive relationship with the Lake County Housing Authority to do all that we can to help even, the renters of those units know that Zion is their community as well, and we need everyone to play a part in making it a beautiful city and community full of character and full of love and full of hope. No one should be stigmatized just because it's low income. It should be, a city thing, and not just, because of someone's economic status.
Nationally, guns are a problem. It seems like the nation cannot get together on gun control. Right? But according to the police chief again, the offenders keep getting younger.
Oh, it's so scary, Dr. Brooks. You're right. Not only are the offenders getting younger, something else is where empathy is something, where you would feel sympathy.
Okay.
It's kind of noted that the young people today, we really need them to have empathy and sympathy, whereas it's lacking quite a bit. It's almost like a learned skill for them. I think it has a lot to do with the texting, where you don't really listen to a person's voice inflex or feelings from when you talk on the phone, but yeah, the offenders are getting younger and the hearts are getting colder, and that's scary.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about, you mentioned about the population, about 25,000?
Yes, we are almost to 25,000.
Do you show growth in the city, or is it maintained at 25,000?
Well, actually, at the last census count, we were just under 25,000. But I believe we're there. I really believe that we're there. And now it's about getting a plan in place, that people can enjoy the quality of life that they deserve.
Uh, Tell us about, you mentioned that you were a candidate for mayor. You served as a commissioner for 4 years.
Yes, I did.
And now you're a candidate for mayor.
Yes.
What piqued your interest in the mayoral race?
Well, right. Thank you. Thank you for asking that question. It's not so much about a title that I believe
Okay.
is important, but it's about having a vision for senior citizens, a vision for families, a vision for children, having a vision to help individuals and families and everyone know that Zion matters. Zion shouldn't just be stigmatized.
Okay.
You know, it should be a place where people can be proud to call their home, and it should be a place where people can feel safe walking the streets. Right now, unfortunately, I am aware that some senior citizens, they don't even like to go to the store because they're afraid.
Wow.
Yeah, that just breaks my heart. And I know that we have to really do a lot to help bring back not only community pride, but again, a strong community connection where people can, you know, feel good about calling Zion home. Right now, it just seems like everyone is quite a bit on edge and just don't know where to turn or what to do, not just because of the transitional element that we have, but because of vision needs to be put back in place in Zion. And to be a mayor, I believe you have to have a strong vision to see not just your family doing well, but a whole city of people doing well. And I believe I have a heart to do that because it's not about just economic prosperity, but it's also about a strong community prosperity too, where people are happy to see one another and people cheer one another on. And a lot of that is lacking. Walls, you know, walls of divide and differences. As human beings, we have so much more in common than we do different. And I want to be able to see Zion be what I know that Zion was created to be when the founder created the city, you know, over 100 years ago, a place where people really felt not only a city of refuge, but a city of prosperity, and not just prosperity and money, but a prosperity and, you know, being able to drive or walk down the street and say hi, Mr. or Mrs. or Miss, and just feel welcomed and not like, you know, not uncomfortable the way, you know, I'll leave it at that, that, you know, right now, again, some people are afraid to go to the store in Zion. I'm well aware of that.
Wow. Mrs. Taylor, you have expressed real concern about the importance of a mayor that has a vision.
That's right.
But is there visibility of your current mayor in the city of Zion?
I would let the people answer that, you know, and, you know, right now, all I ever hear, you know, is, you know, where is he? And I can't say where he is, but I just know
that's
where.
amazing.
Right. I just know where I would be.
The reason I was asking because
people.
a mayor like the mayor of Gurnee,
Perfect
she
example.
is all over Gurnee and the
Yes.
surrounding area.
That's right.
I was at the community day in the city of North Chicago, and she was on a great relationship with the Park City mayor, which is just next
Beautiful.
door, you know.
And that's what it's about. That's what because Dr. Brooks, and one thing that I learned from the mayor of Gurnee, Mayor Christie, is she told me, because I interviewed her when I had my radio show, and I look forward to interviewing her as a shining star as well.
Okay.
But she shared that the mayor is the economic person for the city.
Okay.
That's the economic director, you know,
Okay.
right there. You know,
Exactly.
that's the one that promotes the city. And Gurnee is very blessed with that.
This is fantastic. Well, it appears that you do have a vision, and hopefully people will see hope.
That's the key.
And you're hoping that they will see hope and the election is when?
The election for Zion Mayor will be April 2015.
Okay.
About
And,
7 months from now.
yeah, because the first filing date though is when?
In September.
September 1st.
Yeah, candidates will come forth. I'll file in September. Yeah, next month. Yes.
Um, you know, I was very interested in how close the election was when you ran, Commissioner, before. It was a close election, so people are aware
Yes.
that you do have concerns for Zion.
I really do. Genuine concerns to see not just one family do well, but a whole city do well. And I really do hope that people will tell their friends and family that, you know, I am someone that's worth putting their vote towards, because it's time to save Zion.
Ms. Taylor, you mentioned about family, but how important is family?
Family is everything. Family is right underneath God. You know, it's God first, family second, and then everything else. You know, you have a healthy family, you have a healthy community. And that is, you know, where everything will start. I'm so thankful for my husband, Alan, and my children. They support me as I desire to continue to be a great help to the city. And we, you know, enjoy going to church and doing things other families do. But again, myself and even my husband, we care about seeing the betterment of life for others outside of ourselves. And so you have to be able to lead by example and help by example. My husband is a deacon at our church that we serve at. And so he loves to do things as well as helping people.
A family prays together, stays together.
That's so true.
It's fantastic.
True.
I met your son, and one time I thought he was interested in politics. I think he was assistant to Eddie Washington.
He sure did.
Think,
he was one of
Eddie's
State Representative Washington's assistants. That was wonderful. Right now he's down married in the city of Nashville, where he serves actually as a police officer to the community in that area.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes, yes. I have a grandson, and again, just community oriented. My daughter-in-law is a nurse. I'm thankful, and again, it is about family.
Okay, this is great. In order to have growth in the city, we talk about businesses, but what happened, I think, come with Edison, I think once, right, when they...
yes, the nuclear power plant situation.
Yeah,
yes.
when they declined, or I guess they
when
left
closed
now,
down,
right? Could they
yes.
close down now?
And now it's the nuclear power plant is in the process of being decommissioned, yes.
Okay, but that was a great turnaround at that point, right?
It was. It took away a huge tax base for the city, and it left a huge gap, and it's still there, and we're feeling the cost, the brunt of that now, and you know, we need Zion to rebound.
Right. At one time, I'm just mentioning about reading the paper and so forth, but I'm getting it straight from you now.
Sure.
There was there a professional baseball team?
Yes. Yes, unfortunately it was.
But that's a whole,
it turned into a debacle. Yes.
Program within itself then, huh?
Yes, and it's in litigation now.
Okay, so you can't talk too much about it.
And it's really a sad state of affairs, not only for, you know, the city, but for the citizens, you know, that were really hurt by that. Yes, and again, it, you know, when you have lack of planning and lack of vision right at the top, that hurts everyone.
Now, the commissioners had different duties than aldermen, I guess, an alderman of the city, but the commissioners' duties are different than
in the city of Zion, yes, there are 4 commissioners. There's a commissioner for public works, public safety, and we have building and public property, public affairs. Yes, very similar to an alderman, but actually right underneath like the mayor when it comes to being the head of specific departments for a city at large, because a commissioner serves the city at large, whereas an alderman is,
Okay.
designated specifically for a certain precinct or area.
Great.
But a city commissioner serves at large.
You have another active person. Matter of fact, she's your event co-chair, and it's the Beverly Mall. Beverly is I know you wish you had more citizens in Zion as active as she is there, because she serves on the library board now.
God bless her.
Okay.
Yes.
And she's very active. She mentioned about, in addition to gun violence, I guess there's a big issue about child abuse.
Oh, yes, and that's an area that the Zion Exchange Club is doing the best at, really trying to hold different symposiums to try to help the community be aware, especially, certain areas of the community that, could really use that information. But kudos to the Zion Exchange Club, because that's an area that they really hone in on, helping to prevent child abuse.
One area that we don't talk about too much is spousal abuse.
Domestic abuse, yes. Domestic violence, yes.
That's a big.
That's a huge, yes.
It's not addressed, I guess, but it's all over the county.
And I tell you, as a, serving as a 911 dispatcher, those are some of the saddest calls to receive. When a mother calls and, has been hit, and then you hear the children in the background, or whatever the case may be. Domestic violence is just not good for anyone, and it really depletes a healthy family.
And it's not just in low-income groups, because we had a county board member that was in a state senate.
Yes.
And
called 911. Right, I remember that.
Remember that? And that was really shocking to the county.
It was.
That it's not just one group, it's high level.
Right.
As a matter of fact, when President Obama now ran for Senate, I think someone that ran against him in the state Senate, when he ran for senator from the state of Illinois, someone's involved in spousal abuse.
Oh my
in
goodness.
that case, and they had to drop out the race. And
oh no.
So it's at higher level.
Yeah, domestic violence, it crosses cultures, and it's, at different levels. And the most important thing, and that's one of the things that I really want to do, not only as a mayoral candidate, but as an individual, is to empower individuals and people and the community to know and to be the best that they can be, because I really do understand that I do not match eyes. I will never match eyes with an individual that does not matter to God.
Okay.
And I want that person, just like with myself, to reach the best potential possible. I want to see Zion reach the best potential possible, and I want to see people within the city reach the best potential possible. And it entails getting the help and getting the connections that is needed for the best quality of life possible. Domestic violence, child abuse, gang violence is so much work to be done, Dr. Brooks. It can be overwhelming. But with a vision and with a plan, it can happen. Good things can happen, and hope. I still have hope, and I still believe that Zion can be a great place, and families can be healthy in Zion.
A mayor is almost an obligation, I guess, to work with different other
That's right.
districts. In other words,
Yes.
the school, the parks, and all, because when something happens within the schools, parks, and so forth, they look at the mayor. So they understand that each one has his own.
It's different connections, different entities, and that's even with taxes. Sometimes people be like, well, my taxes are so high, but you have to look at the whole pie, and when it comes to the school, the library, and the different areas that makes up the tax base. But yes, it's very important for the mayor of a city to have great interconnections with everyone from the governor on across the board. Community connection is key. As city commissioner, I travel to those meetings alone quite a bit. You know, no one else on the board was going to the different training sessions and
Oh, my
meetings
goodness.
down in Springfield,
Mm-hmm.
but yet you'd see different shows and the, you know, different things happening, you know,
Mm-hmm.
in town where behind the scenes it was, you know, only one person really doing the right thing.
It's a great opportunity. I was going to ask about training for
Yes,
mayor and
yes.
commissioners and aldermen and so forth. The opportunity is there, provided by
Oh
the
yes,
state
the
and
Illinois
also.
Municipal League.
Okay, okay.
Yes, yes, yes. And it's a whole. That's one of the things that I really enjoy doing is meeting the different aldermen
Yeah.
and mayors from across the state and joining a coalition right there, learning, you know, to help make your city a better place.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
and something that people don't realize in Zion, they really don't take the time to really understand that the city commissioner in Zion is also the township trustee.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
and a lot of times, you know, I will go to those meetings and, you know, be introduced as finally a trustee has come to a, to a conference or something. It's
Mm-hmm.
just
So it gets
we
to
need
be,
leaders in touch.
yeah, it gets to be
Yes.
real political.
Well, you just want
Mhm.
to be able to represent. When you become an elected official, you represent that town, not just within the city, but also in Springfield and other areas. Go and make yourself friendly and be known. It's helpful, and it helps bring resources. That's one of the things
Okay.
Dr. Brooks is always. People say I don't want to get involved. I don't want to vote. One of the things that I really wish people would understand is that those who don't do politics are having politics done to them.
Okay. Beautiful. Well said.
Unfortunately, they just don't understand that the politicians really are the ones that distribute the wealth and the resources. And if people are not going to the meetings and the conferences, you know, then you have what we have now in Zion, stagnation. But again, we have great movements coming forward like the Walk Against Violence and the Community of Character Walk, these new efforts that are starting to move Zion forward, and I'm, you know, really excited about seeing it and hoping, you know, for the best for our city.
Ms. Taylor, I know you can't speak for the individuals that are doing this, but why would a person be interested in becoming a commissioner or mayor and
And
have
not do anything.
not do anything?
Right. That's a
puzzles
great.
me, though.
And again, that's why I started the show Shining Stars, to get to the heart behind community service,
Mm-hmm.
so that the young generation, because you know 17-year-olds can vote now.
Okay.
I really want young people. I mean, we might not can do a whole bunch with, you know, certain generations, but with this new generation coming, I want them so informed. I want to help them be informed, because you're right. We shouldn't have people sitting on a log not doing anything to help the cause or the matters at hand in cities.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
it shouldn't be big grants or things just waiting there because no one has claimed them, and you have, you know, a large amount of people waiting for help.
Mm-hmm.
But that happens. I don't know why people would do that.
You have connections too with the Secretary of State Jesse White too, because you mentioned he has you invited him to be on your program.
Jesse White was someone that I had a wonderful opportunity to interview just last month. Yes, he was in Zion bringing a grant for, yes, we had some damage happen to our library, and thank goodness the library director at the time, you know, had, you know, got everything in place, and Secretary of State Jesse White was in town and presented a $19,000 check to help repair the damages that had occurred.
So he personally brought it down.
Mm-hmm. And see, that's another thing that, you know, I'm not sure if many people are aware, but we had an outstanding librarian that served the Zion Benton Library community. She's also a Rotary, an Illinois Beach Sunrise member, but she did very so much distinguished work that Congressman Schneider came and honored her. He sent a representative to honor her when Jesse White was in town last July.
Oh.
Yeah, because she did a great job. And now the Zion Benton Library is in a nationwide search for a new director. So, yeah.
Wow. Oh, by the way, we wonder why Jesse White was so interested in the librarian. He is the state
He's the
librarian, right?
Yes, he is. He's the state librarian.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Yes, and having served on the Zion Benton Library Board for 6 years, I was the vice president many of those years. It's always a wonderful feeling just to go to the library and to just, enjoy times like seeing Jesse White come and give, the library kudos and,
Right,
a $19,000 grant check for, repairs for computers and things.
He's really concerned about the youth because he has a team
Yes, he
that
is.
for years they've been together. I don't know how
Yes,
many
the
years
Jesse
they've
White
been
tumbling team, at least over 20 years he's had the Jesse White tumbling team. And he mentioned how he wants to make sure young people understands the importance of never even experiencing drugs and staying positive and staying in school. Yeah, he's a great person. He's a great Secretary of State.
We mentioned about the youth, but we have to continue to think about ways that, I think one of the solutions, I guess, character building, I guess.
Character building
and
is
you start
huge.
with the grade school
Yes.
on character building, right?
Yes. The children in Zion District 6 are learned about character building.
Oh, okay.
Respect, responsibility, different things that will help them, be the
We have
best
to
that
give
they
the
can.
kudos then to the school administration. Then
Oh, that's right. They're doing a great
because you have,
job.
is it 2 districts? You got elementary school district
We
and a
have-
high school district?
We do, yes, we do. We have elementary and high school, yes, in Zion.
Okay, have you started with checking with your resource people? I know Zion has a lot of resource people that you can contact, right, that have served in the past about being on your team to make Zion a better city.
Oh, yes, slowly but surely. I love how that team is building every day. Yes, yes. It's a wonderful thing to just know that it's other people that want to see Zion be the best that it can be. And again, with a show focused on hope, that's what it's all about, hope for, for everyone, the seniors, the children, and the families and individuals in between. We need a lot of help and a lot of hope in Zion. We
So
really
you have
do.
not given up on Zion. You're still focusing on hope. The title is very, very appropriate. And
Yes,
I
yes.
congratulate you on that.
Oh,
yeah.
thank you. Yes, I really believe that is something that was, put in my heart divinely. Because my son would love for me to move to Nashville.
Ah,
I love to visit there, but I have a work to do here in Zion.
right. Well, I have the same thing. But here, I've been in this area since, oh my goodness, over 50
Long
years.
time. Oh,
And,
we're so
yeah.
glad you're here, Dr. Brooks.
And we just keep contributing.
That's right.
And
We do.
contributing, and
It matters.
we've had challenges too,
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I may mention this. I kudos to myself here. The apostle
Yes.
Leon C. Cozy Jr.
Yes.
is planning on a testimonial for the Brooks family.
Wow.
And it's going to be October 4th for those that may be listening and did not
Nice.
get an invitation. We'll extend the invitation out there. So it's things that's going to happen there. He says it's going to be a surprise for the family.
I
But,
want to be there for that.
okay, well, your name has been submitted.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So all the
Yes.
names are submitted to him, and he doesn't want any outside help. He said
Sure.
God has given him the vision to do it.
Wow, to celebrate
And,
you.
Yeah. So you never know.
That's
you mentioned
beautiful.
about church. Christ came into his own. Jesus Christ came
Yes,
into
he
his
did.
own, and his own received him not.
That's true.
And this is where, and we're not in the business for getting credit,
That's right.
But
We have to stay focused.
you stay focused, and we accept these things as they happen.
That's right.
Really, really appreciate that God had given him the vision,
Oh, that's
to do this for
beautiful.
us. This is the first time that this has happened, a testimonial for the whole
Yes.
family.
Yes.
Okay, so we mentioned that character building is so important.
Yes, it is.
And what about church? You're very active in church.
Yes.
I know church played a very important part in my life.
Yes, I agree.
I was converted to Christ when I was 13 years old.
Amen.
And that's a true conversion, because all the other students on the bus would say, hey, something is wrong with Brooks there. Something's wrong with his life, but they don't know it's something good in my life.
That's right.
And since 13, I've been always, and I still do, love people and do everything I can to.
That's right.
Focus
to
on
bring
hope.
out the best. That's
bring out
right.
the best in kids.
And that's
and
what
this is
you
what's
do.
that in the children, you know.
That's fantastic.
And we have youngsters that have graduated, psychologists, social workers, doctors, and lawyers, and so forth, you know, that call, say, we thank you. And that's all the wife is. She gets so excited. People call her and come by and visit.
Well,
Thank you. So it does work
yes.
when you work with the youngsters.
Well, you know, your wife, Mrs. Brooks, receiving that beautiful presidential honor, Dr. Brooks, that is, you know, that's what it's all about. You
April
know?
4th, 2010,
wow.
she received the 2010 Presidential Civilian Medal, which
that
is the
outstanding.
second highest medal in the country. You know,
wow.
Medal of Honor is the highest.
That is so awesome.
He told her in a ante room before they came out on the stage that you do a great job. How do you do the things you do? She said, well, me and God, you know.
That's great.
He said, what you're doing is phenomenal, and you're not bad looking. You good? No, you said you're good looking, you know. And I said, watch it, buddy.
That's right. You told the president to watch it.
No, if I had said that, the security would have had me out of there, you know. But I was thinking,
they would have whisked you away.
Yeah, but they. It's good to be recognized.
Yes, it is.
You know,
very much so.
Well, what's new on the horizon?
What's new on the horizon is just continuing to stay focused and working hard at, you know, my goal of becoming the next mayor of Zion.
Okay. And you have family support and you have community support.
Yes.
And we wish you all the success.
Well, I really appreciate that, and thank you for having me.
And we want to thank you very much. And thank you for the the prayer at the beginning of the program.
Prayer is powerful.
It's powerful to make this program a success.
Thank you.
You have here, you're hosting Shining Stars again. You want to talk about it?
Yes, Shining Stars is a show that comes on that I host, again, focusing in on different community leaders and giving individuals the opportunity to go right to YouTube, Shining Stars program.
Okay.
And they will have the opportunity to just click on whatever show. They can see Secretary of State Jesse White, an interview that I did with him.
Okay.
An interview with Senator Melinda Bush. An interview that I did with Congressman Schneider, Sheriff Mark Curran, the different police chiefs of the of the Zion Benton community. It's all about, again, hope and information.
Tell us about the outstanding international program, Rotary Club. The Rotary Club is international.
Yes, it is.
And tell us about, and you are the president.
Yes, I serve as the president this year of the Illinois Beach Sunrise Rotary Club.
And you know, there's, 72 clubs in the district from Kenosha down to, I guess, the Cook County line there, and 1.2 million Rotarians in the world.
Yes.
And
we are great humanitarians, people of integrity, people of loyal character that do great things that children and families can count on to be there for them to help make their community a better place. And
you know what? The greatest growth in Rotary has been since they admitted women to the club.
I heard that. Yeah. Back in, was that 1987, I believe, they allowed women.
You're right on the money.
And I enjoy being a Rotarian because, again, it's not just a local work, but it is an international work, and it's very involved. And it's very life-giving and very satisfying because it truly meets the needs of the community.
Yes, and also world polio has been one of the greatest
Yes, we've
service
helped eradicate
all over the
polio.
world.
That's right.
And it's we're getting great contributions for
Yes.
billionaires.
Oh, Bill Gates.
Bill Gates, yeah,
Yes.
matching funds to
Yes.
to get rid of polio in the world.
Excellent
It's only a
plan.
few areas in the world that's not been able to get to because of the situation. You know, getting to climb the,
Oh, we go all over. Yes.
yeah, right.
Yes.
Okay, so it looked like you've done it all there. You've service is you're service minded,
A heart of service. Yes.
and this is fantastic. If we get more people interested, and I'm sure you're working you're doing a lot of walking in Zion too, and
Yes.
trying to get people interested in becoming
That's true.
workers.
Yes, service, service-hearted, service, community-minded
And
individuals.
what we like to express to the public here is that you're giving people hope.
That's what I hope to do, yes. From a teenage mother, single parent to, I've been married now for going on 18 years and two
Wow.
additional beautiful daughters,
Right.
and a, great husband. I have the foundation that, would help me help others, yes.
We're sure that Zion will be a better place. It
you.
is a better place because of you,
Yes.
and
Thank
it will
you.
become a better place.
That's the
So
goal.
we could find anyone that can serve Zion the way you're serving.
Yes.
I'll invite them to join your team.
That's the goal. They can find me on Facebook, Shantal Taylor for Mayor. Please like my page, stay up to date on the different things that I do in the community, and beyond. That would be great. Yes.
And do you have Clifford Turner coming back again? Is he coming back again for
The Project Awakening?
Yeah.
They won't be back for the September 11th walk, but they
Okay.
do plan to be a part of Zion and really help get our young people involved in acting, actually.
Okay. Yeah. How was the participation there?
For the first walk, we had about 100 people. So
Okay.
for it to be the first walk, it was definitely a wonderful turnout.
It was fundraising too.
Yes, Beverly Mall and Liberty Temple, they help head up that part. When it comes to the fundraising and different things. Yes.
Well, this was very enlightening that Beverly Mall, I guess, is brought to the public about gun violence, child abuse, and also spousal abuse, because I guess spousal abuse is very important because men is involved in this domestic abuse just like
Right.
violence, just like women, right?
Mm-hmm.
You'd be surprised at what the men just don't come forward.
Oh, it's just so many different things that are, sometimes kept, behind the closed doors. That again, with joint help from community, so many different individuals will be empowered to just take a new step, take a new day in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned about Bill McNeely participating with you too.
Bill McNeely, he serves
He's
as
a pastor.
his title, I believe, right now is Apostle Elect, and
Oh.
he's going to be like the pastor of the Zion Liberty Temple, because they actually have a church in Zion.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is fantastic, and getting individuals and churches and neighboring organizations
That's what
working
it
with
is.
you.
Everyone coming together, to
The
help make the
dialogue
community.
with each other, this type of thing.
Yes.
Well, hopefully that this will be very encouraging to our listening audience, that let them know that Zion will be
That's
a
right.
better place to live.
Please, that's right. Come out, support,
Right.
like our Facebook pages. Yes.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking with Shantal Taylor. She's a person that Lake County should know because she's the president of the Illinois Beach Sunrise Rotary Club in Zion, Illinois. She's a former Zion City Commissioner, and she's also now a candidate for mayor city of Zion, Illinois. She hosts the Shining Stars. You can get her on YouTube. And we'd like to mention that the election for mayor for the city of Zion, Illinois is
April 2015.
April 2015. So it's just right around the corner.
7 months.
Right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to another awareness session on Community Forum. My name is Dr. Waddell Brooks Sr., your host.